Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Woods and today I'll be talking to you about my carbon footprint reduction plan. So initially we were tasked with a carbon footprint reduction plan. So I thought the biggest carbon emission producer in my life would probably be my truck. I drive a 2016 Nissan Frontier that gets 16 miles per gallon in the city and 22 miles per gallon on the highway. So with this being kind of a gas guzzler, I decided, you know what, I might as well opt to bike to school. So why did I choose biking? I chose biking because transportation is a huge sector of U.S. carbon emissions. Not only is it a huge sector of U.S. carbon emissions, but it is also individually um, my biggest source of carbon emissions. So I live on River Park campus downtown, and as many of you know, it's a bit of a commute from downtown to main campus. But one thing that I recognized before changing to this project was that there is the bike trail connecting downtown and CSU. So I thought, I think it'd probably be a good idea, to get on the bike and get out to CSU that way. Because I figured if I'm reducing my internal combustion engine transportation, then I'm definitely going to be reducing my carbon emissions because that truck is the biggest source of carbon emissions in my life. Also, I figured, you know what, it'd be a great source of exercise. All right, so how did I go about changing this and testing this and recording this? So we were tasked with this carbon action plan, right? And it was to be tested over a 2 week period of time. So I kind of did a month long test. I did 2 weeks beforehand. So the 2 weeks beforehand, October 1st through the 15th, was my initial data collection phase. This is where I measured how much I drove normally over a 2 week period. And then I moved into the bike phase, which is October 16th through the 31st. And this was where I was taking my bike from River Park campus to school. Now, I didn't cut out my truck completely. I still use it to go home because I live across town and the bike trail does not connect to my house. And I didn't really feel like riding my non-road bike on the road. Also, I ended up taking a trip up to Pine Mountain, and I did not feel like riding my bike up there either, so I ended up taking my truck. I mainly stuck to commuting to school with the bike. All right, so some data and documentation and proof of this project. So as you can see right here at the end of that initial data collection phase from the 1st to the 15th, I had around 524 miles driven. And then you move over here to the end of the 2 week bike phase where I had 257 miles driven. Obviously a pretty big reduction. Here's me standing up by the Riverwalk sign by the North Highlands Dam. And there's me in front of the Columbus State University sign on the bike trail. So my initial hypothesis was that I would have a 75% reduction in my carbon footprint if I switched from a truck to a bike to commute to school. My total footprint for the whole year was 26.27 metric tons. My carbon footprint for the first 2 weeks, that initial data collection phase, was 0.23 metric tons, and my footprint for the bike phase was 0.11 metric tons. My results, I had a 47.83% reduction in my carbon footprint for those 2 weeks. So some closing remarks. I reject my initial hypothesis. I had a lot of fun and I really enjoyed this project. And I do wish to include days in the future where I bike to school regularly. And the learning outcome met for this class was the number 3, relate scientific principles and methods to problems that are important to individuals and societies. Thank you.